I really feel weird when I start talking and some of the stuff that I say just starts coming out. But the like when I say the voice, the vibration, the God inside me tells me basically that when I feel creative and I'm going and saying all this stuff, that I'm being honest. Like I know that I'm being honest, so I don't stop. But whenever I try to think really hard about what that means, or think very hard about something, or try to even be creative and make it colorful, unless I'm trying to make an analogy of something that I truly believe, like it automatically shuts me off. I'm like so in tune with my belief that if I'm not sure of something, I can't say it right, or else I fumble up and I mess up, and it's just pretty crazy how my mind has tweaked itself and peaked itself to be like to go ahead of itself and correct it. I like pre-edit by reading what or hearing or reading what I'm about to say before I say it and saying it. Like I pre-rehearse even what I'm saying before I say it, but I don't mean to. Like I don't know. I don't tangent as much when I'm talking in translation or when I'm channeling. And I feel weird even saying that stuff. I never would have even said this a week ago. It's crazy. And I never would have thought it was really possible. I would have thought if I did say it, I would think I was joking or something. I wouldn't think about it 24/7 and try to hold it in when I'm around people that I don't want to think I'm weird. Like when I was with my kids today, I thought it all the whole time. But I tried to be cool and calm and relax my mind. So I fell asleep watching the movie because I was watching a movie about dinosaurs. And of course, now I figured out that there was actually people during the days of dinosaurs. And I mean, people were like, oh, that's because you watched a movie. But no, it's because my mind started remembering it. It took me back to the flash, and I pinpointed the spot, and I realized that there was people. And the reason that God had to eliminate people or eliminate dinosaurs is because anytime that a person had gone back there individually, they had no chance. So nobody ever did anything, and nobody has ever traveled in mass group through time. Only few have ever done it. And everyone who has done it has gone back and died. So they never made a change, and whatever change they made isn't relevant or evident to anybody. So, wow, if they would have allowed dinosaurs, people never would have been able to come to pass. They would have overpowered people. They would have broke through anything we built. They would have killed us. We would have never been able to whatever. So God knew that there was going to be no more. That's why dinosaurs roamed for a million years. He knew that there was nothing more powerful than them, but he knew there was so much more to do. And he couldn't get them developed enough to make them smart and make them do other stuff, because as the smarter they got, the tougher ones would kill the smarter ones. And in the process of trying to make tougher, smarter ones, it was just battles between each other. So they ended up having to be killed by God itself. Even though he was in all of them, he had to do that. And he's done it actually with other races too. I just don't know what they're called, and I'll have to study it and all kinds of crazy. And there's all kinds of stuff that nobody knew. Nobody even had any clue. And if you don't solve say, I'm going to use my mom for an example on this one. She always used to say something always used to, it's funny. But she used to say this thing about the movie The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock movie. A God movie about flying God. I'm just joking. I mean, I'm not joking, but that's what it all is. But so Alfred Hitchcock back then made a movie about birds, and they attacked people. And even though the graphics and the special effects and even just the film and the photography back then was sort of bad, that image. If I say my mom, for instance, I'm not trying to use her for instance because I'm pretty sure she's over the image of the birds in the movie, and it's not really that terrifying. But say the terrifying images we have now. If you don't get in touch with the inner you and really truly believe that there's nothing to be scared of, that when you die you're going to be okay, when you see those terrible images in the afterlife, you're going to be tortured and scared, and you'll think that there's hell, and you'll think that there's horrible parallel dimensions, and those horrible parallel dimensions are only horrible until you look at them with love and they turn to beautiful things. So you have to, love is truly a positive frequency, and you can't fake love, and everyone knows that you can't fake love. You know the positive frequency of love, and I'm explaining it in a way that I think we understand, that positive vibration of love is evident to you. If you feel it, you feel it. If you don't, you don't. That's how the determined and the knowing that I have of what I'm saying about all the spiritual things, about all the stories of the past and all the history, all the things that I'm saying are true. I mean, everything that people say about Jesus and the burning, not Jesus, but the burning bush and all the stuff in the Bible, the stuff that people say about that, the imagery that people have made in their mind is true. in the imaginational plane, in the causal plane, in the astral plane. Like in the physical plane, some things have been affected by the Bible and people in their belief in the faith of their God. But that doesn't mean that it's true. I mean, it's true in its own way, but there's more behind it all. That's what I'm trying to say, is that everything is real in its own way, but the real behind the real. If you want to tell me you're religious, I just want somebody who's religious. I don't care if it's the Pope. I want him to tell me where the God that created his God came from. I don't know where the thought came from, but the thought doesn't know where the thought came from. It just started, and it's always been. So therefore, it was like there was never a nothing, and there was never a something, and somehow we're a dream suspended in the air that realized how to produce all kinds of different forms and shapes and matters and vibrations and feelings. And it's doing it all at once, and it's feeling it all at once. It's having a dream right now, and we're part of the dream. We're the characters in God's dream. It's pretty awesome. And that's how you can look around. Have you ever thought to yourself, like, everybody's just like a character in my life movie? Well, guess what? Your person, the character that you're playing, is also a character in your life movie to the soul that you're using to be inside that body character. And I mean, I hope this really touches you guys and makes sense, because I love you. And I'm going to keep talking about this for the rest of my life, because I know I'm right. And I don't mean to say right as in R-I-G-H-T. I mean right as in R-I-T-E, righteous, the ultimate real truth. I know that I'm speaking the real truth. And if you felt that way too, you would know you were doing it. And I know that I'm not crazy, and I know the person that I am. I know that I've read the books and done all the stuff and gone to school, and I know math, and I can read well, and I can, it's not like I'm crazy. It's not like I tried to do this. That's the point that I'm trying to make, is I didn't try for this stuff to happen. I've never been religious. I just wanted to better myself and become successful and learn how to make money. And instead, because my heart is pure and because I truly care about people, I got blessed with the gift that I deserve. Just like everybody will get exactly what they deserve when they remove those negative things. If you hate things, if you dislike things, if you whatever, you got to do whatever you have to do to change that around in yourself. And I'm here to help you do it with ways that I know worked for me. Not saying that they'll work for you, but some of them will point you in directions to find other people or other things that will help you do it. And if you truly want it, you have to truly want it. If you don't truly want it and you're like, oh, show me a miracle, Dan, and I can't, then you're like, I know, see, I told you. But if you listen to me talking, you're like, oh, that's a good story, yeah, and you're just totally blocked off and you don't believe, you're going to get what you believe. If you don't believe something, then you're going to get what you don't believe. It's going to be the way you think. It's going to be that way, because you're not believing is formulating the belief that you do have. You're not believing in one certain thing is saying that certain thing doesn't happen in your belief. So it actually works against the truth. So if you're not open-minded enough to realize that everything is possible, like if you have a relationship, if you're in a relationship, and I'm sorry to say this, but then if you understand this and you work on it together and you're totally okay with knowing that you could have anything and you're not going to die or you're not going to get hurt, and no matter if that person's feelings get hurt or not, when you know that you could be with other people, but you still choose to in your human form, then so by God, do it. But when you finally get free in your mind and you know that you don't need to hold on to anything, and you know that none of this stuff really matters that much, because we are all love and we'll all be back together in love, whether you're father, child, worker, co-worker, or whatever, we'll all be back together in divine love at the end. I mean, if there is an end, I mean, it's just going to go on forever. It can. I mean, a thought is never going to disappear. The earth may disappear, but when I say the end, I mean of humans. Like, there's not going to be an end. So it's all going to continuously go on. So we'll all be okay. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, when people say the world will end, the only thing that can end is physical existence. Mental and spiritual, emotional existence can't end. Emotional only feels that way through our body, but spirit and emotion are what create physical sensation. Like, you can have a false emotion. I mean, you can fake being sad. You can, fake being hurt, but at the same time, you can feel something that's not even there through emotion and physical whatever, but if you do it in your mind, you can hurt yourself thinking it in your mind. You can think something so hard in your mind that it hurts yourself, but you can also think something so hard in your mind that it heals yourself. I don't know why I had a pause, and something made me feel like I had to say that for some reason. I don't know, but it's been 10 minutes. And I need to really get some of this stuff off the phones and write my book because I have more than enough for a book now. It's pretty awesome. I love you guys. Talk to you later.